Hello, PR 100 students. I think this is lecture 6, and 6 and 7 are going to be our last lectures. I cannot believe we got through this semester. I hope that you are sort of sane. That's the hardest part. But what today I want to talk about is special events. I think that we've talked about this, or I've referred to this from the beginning of the semester. It's actually the part of public relations that most students love the most. And for those of you who are doing this class for a grade, part of what you will have to do for your final grade is do a special event, but I'll talk to you about that personally after we get over this lecture. So what is a special event? A special event is something designed to create a buzz for your client. It's to promote an idea. Sorry, I'm looking down because I have notes. It's to promote an idea or a cause or a project, something that your client thinks is important and something that your client thinks will be important to the client's publics, the client's audiences. The primary purpose is to help your client in maintaining key relationships. In other words, to bring your audiences into your client's realm so that your client can maintain a relationship with them and do so in a fun and or informative manner. So a special event should be used to achieve a purpose that has a clear message. Sounds very academic. If I talk to you about what are some types of special events, this is not a brain blowing idea. Most of you know what a special event is in terms of public relations. Do you know the presidential inaugural ball on January whatever, where everybody gets all dressed up and famous people get to dance with the president? Do you remember when Princess Diana danced with President Obama, or John Travolta danced with, I don't know who it was, Michelle Obama or Nancy Reagan or something like that? An inaugural ball is a public relations event to create a buzz about the client, to bring people into it, to get people to say sort of, wow, look at what's going on. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, that's a special event. Macy's does this for reputation management. Everybody knows that Thanksgiving and Macy's goes together. Does it eventually let people know that they can shop at Macy's or buy Macy's stuff? Yeah. Macy's has an awful lot of stuff that they sell around the Thanksgiving Day Parade. We're going to talk about that as well. Scripps Howard, which is a newspaper publishing chain, they sponsor the National Spelling Bee. Does Scripps Howard really care who wins the National Spelling Bee? No. They care that people who are involved in the spelling bee or watch the spelling bee or read about the spelling bee, Hofstra even sponsors a part of it ourselves, knows that Scripps Howard is interested in literacy and education and the importance of language and vocabulary. Avon, the makeup company, sponsors probably the most important or large fundraiser for breast cancer. The Avon Breast Cancer Walk has been going on for years. Avon has tied itself to breast cancer. Women fundraising. Isn't Avon a wonderful company that they support that cause? Press conferences, not going to get involved in whether they work or whether they don't and how people roll their eyes or how people believe or don't believe what's being said. But if your client has something that's important to get out to the media in one big giant ball of information, a press conference is a way to do that. Any sort of fundraiser, marathons, walks, employee events. Are your employees gathering together to work for Habitat for Humanity or collect toys for tots? Those are special events inside your client's management. Are they doing a cleanup of a local neighborhood pond? Are they collecting money? Are they doing a GoFundMe for a certain, obviously that's an online event, a GoFundMe campaign for somebody in the community. Trade shows. Trade shows are where different companies get together to show off their goods. A college fair is a trade show. Maybe your client wants to do an open house. You've been to open houses if you've been to a Hofstra Admitted Students Day or a Hofstra Accepted Students Day. We're going to talk about, don't worry, exactly how to do these events, but again, I want to give you a list of what the events are. A grand opening. Is your client opening a new space? Are they premiering a video? Are they doing a fashion show? Can you have a tour of your organization so that people understand what you do? There's an awful lot of that going on now, certainly virtually, tours of places that people don't understand. Let's see. Do you want to launch a new product? How are you going to do that? How are you going to get people involved in that launch? Luncheons, dinners, volunteers donating, volunteer appreciation day, employee picnics. Can you sponsor a conference? Can you do an award ceremony thanking people for participating in whatever? A rally, a protest, a flash mob. They are all public relations special events. Any sort of party, any sort of fashion show, any sort of movie premiere. I think that you can get the gist that an event puts together an idea with an objective, with a group of people who would be interested in that, and it begins to create a buzz and help your client meet an objective. So there you go. There's a full list. You can Google public relations special events. You'll see tons and tons of lists. I think that you get the gist. But actually, how do you do a special event? Once again, for those of you who are doing this class for a grade, I'm going to ask you to take notes now because I have 8 simple steps to planning a successful event. I'm going to read from you. I published this article a while ago, so if you don't mind, I'm going to put on my glasses. Welcome to the world of aging. And I'm going to read to you, hopefully in a very interesting way, this very, very short article. Special events are a terrific way to reach goals for your organization or your client. When planned correctly, special events generate excitement, create a buzz, and attract a lot of media attention, pre the event and post the event. That's an important key to remember. Planning a successful event takes nothing more than some creativity and strong attention to detail. A lot of things go into an event. It doesn't take a lot of money if you think through all the details, but here are 8 basic points to ponder during the planning process. Okay, this is where you take notes. Step 1, what's your objective? You have an objective for the client, but now I want to know what's your objective for the event. What's the reason you're holding this event? Is it to increase membership in your organization? Is it to launch a new idea or a product? Is it to thank your employees? It's extremely important to be clear on who you're interested in knowing about your event. This will help you decide where your event will be held. Is it indoors or outdoors? Is it at a park or a catering hall? Is it at an ice skating rink? Is it at your company auditorium? Step 1, what's the objective for your event? Step 2, Set a theme for your event. This is where your creativity comes in. We live in a very busy world. We are very protective of our free time. You need to think through, why would people want to come to your event? A theme, which can be anything from a circus to a press conference, will help you hook your audience, as it will be intriguing and will be carried through the entire planning process. Planning a superior event doesn't take $1 million budget, but what it does is take a lot of thought and creativity. You need to make sure that you're thinking through why people want to come to your event. We're tired. We have a lot to do. We're bored. We've come home. We've taken our shoes off. We don't want to go out of the house. We have homework to do. We have parties to go to. Our kids need to be taken to Little League. Yeah. What's the reason you think people would want to come to your event? And that indeed is part of your theme. Step 2, what's the theme for your event? Step 3, create your invitation list. Who is going to benefit from coming to the event? Remember, people are invited to lots of things. Think of Common Hour at Hofstra. There are 12 different things going on at Common Hour. So many that Hofstra's thinking of creating a second Common Hour. Too many things to go to. Why should people come to your event? How are they going to benefit? How is your client going to benefit from certain groups of people knowing that the event is being held? From a PR perspective, it's really less important how many people come to your event as to how many people know that you're creating the buzz. Does that make any sense? When I worked at the hospital, we would have lectures, okay? A lecture, a seminar, a workshop was held once a month on a different topic of mental health, anxiety, stress, drug abuse, eating disorders, whatever. The information would go out to all of our targeted audiences that we were holding this event, that we were holding a seminar. Only 100 people could fit in our auditorium. We probably sent this information to more than 1,000 people. Why? It was more important for people to know that we had an expertise in eating disorders, substance abuse, whatever, stress, anxiety, so that when the time came for them to need the information, in the back of their head, they would say, oh, that hospital knows something about it. So it was more important for me for people to know that we were having the event, that we were publicizing our expertise, than would actually come to the event. Of course, I wanted people to come to the event, sure. But once again, number 3, create an invitation list. Who are the targeted audiences that would benefit from your event, that your client would benefit having to come to your event? Who would be interested in coming? Step 4, design an invitation to your event that links with your theme. And this is where you need to be creative. An invitation doesn't have to be a simple white panel card. It can be anything from an email invite, an audio CD, a chocolate bar with details of the event printed on the wrapping. Again, we're talking about new world versus old world. Are you going to do something virtually? You're creating a buzz with your invitation. You want your invitation to be different and attract attention with your creativity. Remember, of course, that the cost to distribute your invitation is part of your budget. You guys don't have to worry about budget for my class. But some of the most clever invitations I've seen have actually been hand-delivered to a special audience. Again, I'm talking the world pre-COVID-19. One student, as I think I probably have talked about through the semester, her client was a Mexican restaurant that wanted to increase attendance at its Friday night happy hour. So what she did was she typed up an invitation, she created an invitation and attached it to a bag of taco chips and salsa and hand delivered them to about 100 business executives in the immediate area of the restaurant. Okay, a heck of a lot better than a flyer. We know we're not going to do that. A flyer under the windshield wiper or a email to people at the businesses. Specialized, targeted invitation, creative, going to a specific audience that you know that you will be interested in your client and your client's event. Number 4, design the invitation to link with your theme. 5, plan the menu. Food. Food is probably the most important key element in attracting people to your event. Again, for you guys, think back to common hour events. If they say bagels, that might be the reason that you go to that event. If they say lunch will be provided, chances are you're going to choose that particular event. The key to planning your menu is it has to tie in with your theme and your audiences. Okay? If your event is, for example, an employee picnic, hot dogs, hamburgers, vegan burgers, sure, cotton candy, that works. What's not going to work is pâté de foie gras or miniature shrimp toast things. People who come to your event expect that the food will be appropriate to the event. A black tie affair, you'll have your asparagus wrapped in prosciutto, a la fancy food. But then again, maybe your audience wants sliders. Maybe the audience will be appreciative of the way that you chose the food, particularly of interest to them. I can tell you from a personal point of view, especially in today's world, be particularly in tune with dietary restrictions, gluten-free, dairy-free, keto, all of that vegan, all of that stuff is important. Because if you have an event and people don't eat meat and you don't have anything that they can eat, they're not going to be happy with you. And why would you want someone to come away from an event not being happy with your client? Number 5, plan your menu. Number 6, what's the agenda? What's going to happen at the event? Doesn't necessarily have to be entertainment per se. But why should people want to come? Music and dancing may work for some events, as well as distinguished keynote speakers. But if you really want people to talk you up, think about something different. A contest, a comedian, a make your own video. I don't know, again, depending on the audience and the objective who's coming, what is it that they would want to do? Even something as boring as a check presentation from your organization or your client to a nonprofit can be spiced up with creative thinking. Get your audience involved in wanting to come to your event, and after they've come, talking about it, talking about how exciting it was, how much fun it was, even how weird it was, how different it was. Number 6, what's your agenda? Number 7, what's the takeaway? What are you going to give away? A swag bag, any sort of giveaway. Everybody loves to get gifts. Think about when you were a kid and you went to a birthday party, when they gave you the goodie bag at the end of the party. Great job, Mom. Loved that goodie bag. But the goodie bag or the gift has to be appropriate to your audience and your organization. Can you ask your local paper to print a mock-up of the front page highlighting your event? Can you give a gift basket with fancy chocolates? Can you even give a pad of drawing paper and some colored markers to get your guests' creative juices flowing? Make them talk about your event long after it's over. The next lecture is going to be on giveaways. I actually went to my office and grabbed tons and tons and tons of stuff that I've been collecting through the years. We're going to talk about that on the next lecture. But remember, a giveaway is something that you want your audience to be happy to get. Think about the gifts or the party bags or the goodie bags that you've gotten throughout the years. How did it make you feel about the person, the client that you got it from? That's going to be a whole nother lecture. That's lecture 7. But again, number 7 in terms of planning a special event is what's the takeaway? What's the giveaway? What are people going to take with them when they leave your event to remind them that they were at this event? And then number 8, last but certainly not least, always think publicity. You want media coverage. Instagram, Twitter handles today, obviously. You want people to talk about your event long after it's over. Once again, brings more people into your client's realm, helps you reach out to people who may not have been at the event, who may not know about your client, but they're going to say, wow, awesome. So you're going to think publicity 3 ways. Pre-publicity. Let as many media contacts as possible know that you're holding this event. Even if it's just a calendar or a scroll at the bottom of the local television network or an Instagram post, or you guys know better than I do how to get publicity now for your event. Why did I freeze? Did I freeze? Sorry. You guys know better than I how to get publicity for your event. Okay. You want people to know the event is happening. That's pre-publicity. It also serves as a way to invite the media, if that's one of your targeted audiences. And I hardly ever came across a client who the media wasn't the targeted audience. But you want the media to know that they're invited to your event. So pre-publicity. Part 2 in thinking publicity is during the event. Step and repeat. You know what those are, those banners. Photo ops, photo booths, hashtags, all of this stuff that your event participants can help you publicize. You also, as the PR person, you're going to go around the event with a camera or whatever you choose to take photos with, and you're going to take photos of the event, and you're going to get as many people in those photos with their names and the location of where they're from, so that you can do the third part, which is post-event publicity, so that you can do publicity after the event by sharing photographs with local newspapers, with sites where you know people are interested in, on your company, your client's website. So 3 parts to publicity. Pre the event, let people know it's happening, invite media. During the event, you're going to do the publicity as well as hopefully having your guests do the publicity. And third, post-event publicity, which is your opportunity to tell more people about your client and your client's events. So I'm going to go through again the 8 steps of putting together an event. So sorry for the repetition, but hopefully this will, those of you who are doing this for a grade, will help you put together your event, which again, don't worry about starting to put it together. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you to do in separate emails. 8 steps for a successful PR event. What's your objective? Why are you holding this event? What's your theme? What makes your event different or special? What's going to make people want to attend? 3, who is your audience? Who are you inviting? How will they benefit from attending? How are you going to make them want to come? That's 4, by designing your invitation. People have bumping invitations. You know that on any given Saturday in the old world, you're invited to 5 or 6 different things. What makes you want to go? Why is it when you're invited to a wedding, there's 4 other things going on that day? That's natural life. Hopefully we'll get back to that. But your invitation is going to make people want to choose your event. People have bumping invitations. What catches their eye about your event? That's number 4. Number 5, food. Always feed your guests, but tie that food into your theme and make it appropriate to your audience. Number 6, what's your agenda? Your entertainment, so to speak. PR people plan out every minute of the event. What's going to happen at this event to help you meet your objective, to make people happy that they're at your event, and to help your client move forward for the general objective that you've set for them. Number 7, giveaways. We call them giveaway, people call them takeaways. What do guests take away with them that will help them remember that event and talk about it to others? Again, that's going to be the subject. I'm going to show you tons of basically crap, tons of stuff that people give away that helps people remember the event or the client. And then number 8 simple steps. Number 8, publicity, and that's done in 3 ways. Pre-event, how will those not invited know that the event is being held? Can it go in a calendar? Is it open to the public? How will media know that they're invited? And then 2, during the event, all of those things that we've talked about, the step and repeats, the photo booths, the hashtags. You're going to also take photos that you're going to use detailed captions and note-taking so that you can do publicity post-event. Post-event to create further buzz. Get people to continue talking about your client and the client's events. So that, my beloved students, is lecture 6. We're only going to be doing 7. And then guess what? I retire. Today I went to my absolutely final faculty meeting. Anybody interested in going into education will learn early on that faculty meetings are the worst part of being in an academic setting. Much rather be with my kids than the grown-ups. So lecture 6, special events, particularly important to those of you who are doing this class for a grade. Obviously, all of you will send me your responses. Please know that there are some of you who I don't know how to give you a passing grade because you haven't participated in responding to the lectures as I require. I know I've sent a lot of emails and I've gotten some responses, people going, yeah, I'll get to it, and you haven't. I'm going to put in the final grades for this class on May 8th. The only way I have to grade you is your participation through the responses, those of you who are taking pass-fail, your participation through the responses to the lectures. I don't know what else to say. I've actually done more work this semester in trying to get people involved. In a normal semester, obviously, you know from, if you remember my syllabus, attendance counts. In this semester, participation counts. I think it's been fairly humane in what I've asked you to do. Those of you who are doing it for a grade, I've given you feedback on all your backgrounder, your objective, your key message, your audience. The next is going to be tools, tools and tactics. And then it's going to be, no, that's it, your tools and tactics. And that's how I'm going to grade you. But then again, just those of you who are taking pass fail, if I don't have responses to, now it's been 6 lectures. If you haven't responded by giving me more than a, yep, I watched it, that doesn't do anything for me or for you. If I don't have responses to every single lecture, now we've got 6, I don't know how to give you a pass. And trust me, I don't want to fail anybody. I just want to bring you forward. I know it's been a crazy, difficult, weird semester. I just want to move you forward. So there's my plea. Wow, 31 minutes. I think this is the longest lecture I've done. Okay, so those of you who are doing this class for a letter grade, please know that your 8 simple steps for putting together an event is going to be what I'm going to talk to you separately about in an email. Those others of you, please respond to this lecture and make sure you've filed your pass-fail form. And signing out, seeing you soon.